Mistfall Hunter is shaping up to be more than just another low-budget Souls-like clone. It is a serious attempt to combine Souls-inspired melee combat with the extraction gameplay of titles like Dark and Darker and Escape from Tarkov. That is a strong concept, but expectations should remain realistic. This probably will not launch on the same level as Elden Ring, Helldivers 2, or Arc Raiders. A more likely scenario is a strong opening with tens of thousands of concurrent players, followed by a difficult fight to maintain that audience. It has the potential to become a successful niche game. Whether it can become a genuine mainstream hit is much less certain. Mistfall Hunter is being developed by Bell Ring Games. This is the studio's first publicly released title, so it does not have an established track record yet. The project is directed by Haoliang Hao Zhang, who says he has more than 12 years of experience in the games industry. However, the studio has shared very little information about the team's previous projects or employers. That means the developers probably have industry experience, but there is currently no clear evidence that this is a team of famous veterans from studios such as From Software, Tencent, or NetEase. The game is being published by Skystone Games, a company co-founded by notable industry figures, including Diablo creator David Brevik. However, Brevik's involvement with the publisher does not necessarily mean he is personally working on Mistfall Hunter. Overall, Bell Ring Games appears to be a legitimate and reasonably well-funded studio, but Mistfall Hunter is still an ambitious debut project from an unproven development team. A dark fantasy extraction game built around melee combat, character classes, bosses, loot, and Souls-like mechanics. There are not many polished games competing in exactly this space. Dark and Darker proved that players are interested in fantasy extraction gameplay, but its first-person combat and presentation are not for everyone. Mistfall Hunter offers a more cinematic third-person alternative. The game also appears to have several systems that could support long-term engagement. Multiple character classes, different weapons and abilities, talent and progression systems, PvE enemies and bosses, high-risk extraction gameplay, solo and 3-player team options, cross-platform support. Visually, it also looks more expensive and polished than the majority of new extraction games. The combat is the most important question. Early previews suggest that the combat is enjoyable, but not yet at the level of From Software's games. Some testers have mentioned inconsistent hitboxes, attacks that lack impact, and animations that do not always feel as precise as they should. In a normal action RPG, these issues might be annoying but manageable. In an extraction game, they can be much more frustrating. Losing valuable equipment because of a questionable hitbox or server issue can quickly make players quit. Mistfall Hunter does not need to match Elden Ring perfectly, but the combat must feel fair and responsive. If players believe they are dying because of the game rather than their own mistakes, retention could become a serious problem. The game needs enough active players across different regions, skill levels, matchmaking queues, team sizes, and difficulty levels. If the player base becomes too small, matchmaking gets slower and matches become less balanced. This is especially risky for a new intellectual property from an unknown studio. A successful launch will not be enough. Bell Ring Games will need to maintain player interest through updates, balance changes, new content, seasons, and community management. The studio will also have to deal with some of the most difficult problems in online gaming. Cheaters, server stability, matchmaking, solo players fighting coordinated teams, gear balance, progression balance, in-game economy, content production. Creating an exciting extraction game is difficult. Keeping it healthy for multiple years is even harder. Is the hype real or mostly paid marketing? There is genuine, organic interest around Mistfall Hunter, although it has not reached full viral hype territory. The game's Steam demo reportedly reached approximately 16,000 to 17,000 concurrent players during Steam Next Fest. That is a strong result for a completely new intellectual property. It is also ranked relatively high among Steam's most wishlisted upcoming games, while its official Discord community has grown to tens of thousands of members. Major gaming outlets have covered the demo positively, and many players seem interested in the idea of a Souls-like extraction game with third-person combat. These are meaningful signs. Most unknown games do not attract that level of attention. At the same time, some of the current visibility is clearly supported by marketing. There are sponsored YouTube videos, influencer partnerships, previews, and Twitch drops. Launch day Twitch numbers may therefore look much larger than the game's actual organic audience. Mistfall Hunter also does not yet have the kind of community-driven momentum seen around major breakout games. There are not many viral memes, huge independent communities, or countless unsponsored videos receiving millions of views. The current hype is real, but concentrated mainly among Souls-like and extraction game fans. Mistfall Hunter is probably worth trying if you enjoy Dark and Darker but dislike its first-person combat, Hunt Showdown or Escape from Tarkov but want swords and magic, Souls-like combat with multiplayer progression, building characters and collecting equipment, high-risk gameplay where death has real consequences, fighting both players and PvE bosses. The launch price is expected to be around $24.99 with a 10% launch discount. At that price, it looks like a reasonable experiment for players who already enjoy extraction games. However, buying the game immediately when the servers open may not be the best decision. It would be smarter to wait several hours and check Steam user reviews, server stability, PC performance, matchmaking times, major bugs, monetization, cheater reports, whether the combat feels fair. The first day should reveal whether the game is technically ready or whether it needs additional updates. Mistfall Hunter does not look like a scam or an empty marketing project. It appears to have a genuinely interesting foundation, a clear target audience, and enough early interest to support a strong launch. Its biggest challenge will not be attracting players during the first week. The real challenge will be keeping them after the initial excitement disappears. If Bell Ring Games can deliver responsive combat, stable servers, fair matchmaking, regular content, and effective anti-cheat systems, Mistfall Hunter could become one of the strongest niche extraction games on the market. If those systems fail, the player base could decline very quickly. For now, the safest recommendation is keep the game on your radar, but wait for the first wave of real player reviews before buying it. But me, honestly jump in right on the launch to ride some hype train, haha.